All right, good night, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Someone say something if you can hear me. Hello.
MSP.
All right. Let's give persons a chance to come in. All right, we did 12. Let's give persons, some other persons a chance to come in. Somebody let the group know the class has started. Okay, we did 12 persons. All right, they're rolling in. Okay, so let me get started. So the first thing I want to go over with you guys is submission of assignments. I would have posted a video in the classroom. After going around today, I realized a lot of persons submitted the work, but y'all didn't turn it in. So here's the difficulty. You say to me, Miss B, see, I submitted. Yes, you would have uploaded it to the portal. You could see it on your end, but on Miss B end, it's saying missing. What does that mean? If you look over to the right, there's a little button that says turn in. A lot of persons just upload the assignment or do it in Google Classroom and upload it, but they don't click that little button that says turn in. If you do not click the button, I don't see anything at all. So it's going to reflect on my end that it's missing. And then I give you a 0 and you're wondering why you got a 0. And you can see on your end that the assignment was submitted, but no, it was not, because you didn't turn it in. So for those of you going forward that are on the call to hear this, please ensure that you click or press the turn in button so that I can see your assignments, okay? So I wanted to cover that. Now for this evening, I wanted to cover the topic, your career plan, all right? I wanted to cover it, or goal setting. I'll call it goal setting for you guys. We're gonna just talk a little bit about setting long-term, short-term midterm goals, because you guys are basically my seniors. And I need you guys to really, really, really understand what it means to set a goal. Now we're gonna take it from a standpoint of dealing with your career, um, because you're also thinking about college, or you're thinking about maybe once you graduate getting a job, but you gotta have a plan. Not everyone is going to go to college. I understand that. But if you're not going to college, then you need to have a plan. All right? Making your career goals a reality means planning a course of action for your career or for your life. This is called individual career planning. This is the seventh and final step in the career decision-making process. Don't worry about what the other six are. We can get into that a little later. All right? So I'm kind of just jumping ahead because I realize after talking to a lot of my 11th graders, they struggle with making proper decisions or the right decisions. And you guys are almost there. You're almost out of school. All right? There is no substitute for planning if you want to be successful in reaching your goal. Having a plan does not guarantee success, but it greatly improves your chances. You may get help from many sources, but the most workable plan will probably be the one you design for yourself. How will you begin? How should we begin in planning? Somebody help me.
With the foundation.
What is the foundation?
Like, I'm not fully sure.
The goals
See
that
what
you would
you
want to
have
set.
before you start working with it.
You ain't sure, but you still give an answer.
Miss B, I have an answer.
Okay, let me hear it.
Like, find the goals that you want to set before you start to actually accomplish them. So, you know, if you have like something to work towards.
Okay, explain that to me some more, because that's still a little vague. It's still a little broad. Help me.
Say if you want to like take up a specific course like culinary, you do like you will do all in your power to like see that you know you want to pass this course, you want to take it somewhere far, you want to be something and do something good with this course
Mm-hmm.
and be a productive person in life.
All right, but before we get there, before we get to the course, what should we do?
We should find our talent or seek to what like we want to pursue in the future.
Correct. You have to decide what your interests are. You have to decide, okay, I'm in grade 11 now. What do I really, really, really see myself doing? What do I really like doing? You know, and once you've discovered that, then now you do what? What should we do after we've had this thought? Everything starts with a thought. What should we do?
You seek knowledge based on the passion that you've chosen.
How?
See if there's better ways you can improve it and do it better.
How?
By studying at college.
We ain't just thinking about college. We thinking about every aspect of life. So
Okay.
you study. Hmm?
I was going to say to take any opportunity that allows you to go further in what you want to pursue.
Right, but right now this is just a thought. This is just a thought in my mind. I like doing this. Gabe hit on it. You seek knowledge. That means now you should inquire with persons who are either heading in the same path that you would like to go in, or someone who is skilled at advising you to get where you're trying to go. So now we move from a thought, we seek knowledge, then what? What do we do?
we obtain said knowledge.
We already did that.
You have to think about if that knowledge you was given is right for you or is the right thing for you to do.
Right. So add something to that. So we just get all this good advice from somebody. What do?
We could apply it
And how do we apply it?
by doing the necessary, by studying, writing, play with your hand. I get it.
You put it on paper. You have to, anything you put on paper becomes a reality. See, if you leave it in your head, it's gonna stay there. So
So
now
it's
you
like
have,
a will.
you, boy,
So basically, you write it down so you can remember it.
right. But you gotta write it down. You gotta write it down because now it becomes something visual to your eye. You write it down, and then from there you start to go through. You start to establish, okay, I write all of this down. I see myself doing so many different things. Oh, I didn't talk to Miss B and we didn't kind of narrow this down. So now let me go behind, put this on paper, because she can probably tell me put it on paper anyway. So let me put it on paper. Let me try and sort through all of these words, And then you categorize them. Short term, midterm, long term. But before I get there, to reach your ultimate career goal, you first need to establish some intermediate planning goals. These are the steps you will take to get from where you are now to where you want to be. Where you are now is in your head. You don't know the in-between. That's why you seek knowledge. You have this thought in your head, I would like to be an entrepreneur, but, or as y'all would put it in your vocabulary, I would like to own my own business. And you see yourself making all this money. You see yourself being successful. That's where you want to be. But you don't see the in-between. You don't see how you're going to get there. That's where the seeking of knowledge comes in. That's one of the steps. And that's where writing it down comes in. So it's just a piece of paper with some words. I'm using it as an example. So I don't want nobody to ask me if it's a plan I write out. All right? Let me read that again. These are the steps you will take to get from where you are now to where you want to be. If your career goal, oops, my camera fell. There we go. If your career goal is to become a real estate agent, for example, one intermediate goal might be to find out what training you would need to get involved in to qualify you for your real estate license. There you go, that conversation. In order for you to find out, you got to talk to someone who's probably in real estate. Or you do your research and you go online and find out ways to become a real estate agent. You got to do your research, all right? The next goal might be to find schools that offer this training. Intermediate planning goals are important because they break your career plan into manageable steps. Then the prospect of reaching a specific career goal does not seem so overwhelming. Let me break that down for you at your level. Y'all at a place now where, Miss B, I see myself going off to school to do this. I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to be a chartered accountant, or I want to be a pilot. That's where y'all at. Or you have some people who say, Miss B, I honestly don't know what I want to do. Or Miss B, I don't see myself going to school. I see me getting a little job and, making some things happen, I have all different diversity of students. But no matter where you are, I can need you to have a plan. And a lot of students, when they hear me say that, is like, okay, Miss B, I think I planning towards it because I get in the grades and I'm in school and whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, you are, but that's not all that's needed. So let's use the college club, for example. If you're a student saying that you want to go off to college, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's the first thing. So I shouldn't expect to see you hanging with John Doe, who I know for sure, and tell me, Di, what are you into? That's the first thing. The second thing is you involve yourself in different hobbies and activities that are going to push you in that direction, such as the college club, because that's where you're going to get the bulk of your information regarding college. That's where you're going to get the bulk of your information regarding scholarship. That's where you're going to get the bulk of your information on different things that you need to qualify to get into college or get this scholarship. Just saying. Just saying. You know, or you sit with your guidance counselor and you say, okay, Miss B, I see myself going off to college. What do I need to do? And I would then say to you, okay, I call it a time train. Y'all can hear me talk about this, or I'm sure y'all heard me talk about this. There are certain things you should cover in grade 10. There are certain things you should cover in grade 11. And there are certain things you should not even have to hurt your head about in grade 12. Example, SATs. The SATs is something I encourage children to do in grade 11. If you pass the SATs in grade 11, in grade 12, that's one less thing you have to do. Another example, your job training and community service. If you do that in grade 10 and 11, you don't have that to worry about in grade 12. Another example, your BGCSE. If you can get a teacher to sign you up in grade 10 or in grade 11 and you can sit a BJC or a few of your BGCSEs, in grade 10 or 11, that's one less subject you have to worry about in grade 12. That's what they mean by taking it in stages. Taking it in stages. And that's the purpose for someone like me in your life. That's the purpose of us having these necessary conversations, because it helps you to what's the word I'm looking for? Compartmentalize. I think that's the word. Let me break that down. You categorize. That's a better word for y'all. You categorize, okay, I should be focusing on this in grade 10. I should be focusing on this in grade 11. I should be focusing on this in grade 12. So that it's not so overwhelming. And you can't say, what students like to tell me, I'm stressed. Miss B, I'm stressed out. I don't know. You got your parents in one area, then you got all the people from school in another area. Then you got, when I say all the people, the teachers, then you got administrators, then you got Miss B behind here, barking at you, telling you, listen, you need to do this, that, the next, and all the rest. Listen, you have to take it in stages. But the problem comes in when most young people try to either skip, sweep under the rug, jump over these particular steps that should have been taken in strategic and chronological order. Most important to least important. All right? So let me read that again. Intermediate planning goals is important because they break your career plan into manageable steps. Then the product of reaching a specific career goal does not seem so overwhelming. Intermediate goals can also help you feel focused and confident. It is a good idea to give your goals a time frame. Timing is everything. Prime example, those persons who would have attempted to sit the SATs. We started those classes from September. And the reason why we would have started those from September is because we said, okay, certain students would want to sit the December exam. So if they sit the December exam, we have September, October, November to prepare them, because these are students who feel confident enough in math and English that they could take 3 months or have been preparing from the whole summer into high school or this new semester to sit the SATs in December. We put a time on it. It ain't just, oh, you can do these classes and then we'll figure out when you can do the SATs. So your goals are no different. They're no different. If I sat with you from grade 10 as a serious student, you would say to me, okay, Miss B, I at least want to pass 3 of my BGCSEs in grade 11. What do I need to do? We would first identify what those BGCSEs are, speak with your teachers to see where you are at, step number 2. Sit with your teachers, see where you are at, have them say, okay, if you do some classes, there's a possibility that I could sign you up in grade 11 to do it. So you done put in your guidance counselors, you done put firstly in your mind that, hey, this is what I want to do. Then you came to me and you put it in my mind that, okay, this is one of my more advanced students because they see more for themselves. All right, so I done all excited now. Then I get your teachers involved. We didn't put that in their head that, okay, all right, John Doe, they want, you know, be a little fancy. Okay, I help those who want to help themselves. All right, fine. So now they can give you that extra attention because you didn't put that in their head. That's in their psyche that, hey, this young person wants to do more. They actually know where they're going. They're planning, they're strategizing, so forth and so on. So now you're done on your way, well on your way. You're doing your classes now, your extra classes, because you now have to cover grade 12 work in grade 10, grade 11 and 12 work in grade 10 and some of grade 11. So you would have been preparing from grade 10 to take this exam in grade 11. Yes, it requires a lot of work. Being focused, being driven is a lot of work, a lot of work. So now and I tell people, I said, grade 10, you don't have a vacation. I'm so sorry. People feel like, oh, that's like grade 7. Oh, I starting fresh, such and such. No, it does not work that way. If you want an easy ride in grade 12, you do work in grade 10, you do half, so you do work in grade 12, but most of your work comes in grade 10 and that first semester in grade 11. You could kind of chill the last semester in grade 11, only if you put in the work in grade 10, because you don't have a summer. You remember I said that you don't have a summer, because now you take that little break right there within the term, that last term leading into summer, because you didn't put in all of this work. Your GPA and your cumulative look right. So you didn't sit them 3 BGCSEs that you say you wanted to sit, and you confident that, okay, I would have prepared, so I know I at least get one C on them, so I good, fine. You take your little break, that last particular term, don't mean if you get a 2 point to just, ease up on the classes and so forth and so on. Then that summer, we back at it again, because you don't know what the results were as yet. So once you get those results in August, you say, now, okay, this is where I'm at. I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do the next, I didn't da-da-da-da-da. So your grade 12 is pretty easy. Easy breezy. Because you only can sit a couple more BGCSEs, you don't have your SATs, you don't finish your community service, finish your job training, finish your job readiness, all of these different things. It's just like you come into school, knowing Miss Beto, she can find some extra something for you to do. It's called APs, Advanced Placement. Why do we need advanced placement? Because now you've shown me that you're serious. So now I'm gonna go out of my way to ensure that you get some college credits. Why I need college credits, Miss B? You need college credits because it look good when it comes to getting a scholarship. On top of everything you've done, I wouldn't put that much pressure on you, but I would say, okay, take one or two, maybe a math and an English of this particular advanced placement. So guess what? You above your whole class now because these Joe Blowers down here still doing regular schoolwork. You didn't finish. You didn't complete certain things. You didn't on top of the class. You didn't on the level of a first semester college student. So now when we submit your application for scholarships and stuff, the people smiling because they're like, wow, this student was in high school and they did some college credits. Okay, cool. And these credits could be transferable to whatever university you decide to go to. But it all starts with a thought. And then you go from there and we strategically plan. All right? So it is a good idea to give your goals a time frame, which is a period of time in which the goals will be accomplished. What do you need to do now, next year, 5 years from now? Goals can start on now and may accomplish quickly or short-term goals. Let me repeat that again. Goals can start on now or may be accomplished quickly as short-term goals. What are short-term goals? Let's go over those again. Short-term goals are, let me see how I can explain this to y'all to understand. Short-term goals, I would say for the rest of the week. If I already have my schedule, I know the teacher on Monday or last week would have told me I have an exam this week Tuesday, this week Friday, and this week Thursday. So I am planning my week out to say, okay, I need to study for this particular whatever because I need an A or I need to keep my grades up in this class because, you know, I haven't been doing too good. I've been playing, so I need to keep my grades up in this class. I have to study. So you set a plan. Okay, I'm going to study when I come home from school. We got a basketball game. I really want to watch that. So, okay, I'm going to study, not that day because I got to be real with myself. I ain't going to do it. So maybe Sunday after church, you know, the Sunday before the week start, I can study then, and then I'll do a little recap, a little, what y'all is call it? When y'all studying the night before, what it is? What y'all is call it?
Cramming.
That. I'll do a little cram the night before, and I should be good. Or the hour before class, or legit as I walk to class. I know I right. So that is your short-term goal for the week. For some people, they do short-term goals within the day. Then you have your mid, all right? Your mid is going to be for this semester. I would love to achieve a 3.5 GPA. That's a medium goal. But now, what's the in-between? How are you going to achieve that? And then you have your long-term goal. Okay, I have one more year in school. I want to graduate with this particular cumulative. I want to graduate on top of my class. How do you plan on doing that? All right? So those goals that will take longer to reach maybe 1 to 5 years or medium-term goals. Those goals that are further in the future, such as your career goals, are long-term goals. All right? So it all depends on you. If I say, give me your plan for the next 5 years, that's a long-term goal. Even down to the next year is a long-term goal for me. That's a long-term goal. So you guys got to now start saying, okay, setting your goals. And guess what? Anything you put on paper becomes a reality. Anything you put on paper becomes a reality. So after we finish this class, you shouldn't even wait for me to have to say, what is your goals? Not saying that that's homework, but you should want to sit down now and say, okay, let me think about what Ms. B said. Short-term goals, medium goals, long-term goals. What do I want for me? What do I see myself doing? All right. Think of Daniel Porter's career plan. For example, his ultimate career goal is to be the chef and owner of a restaurant. But now he is working on a short-term goal to get a physical restaurant experience, to get physical restaurant experience serving as a waiter. He is also working on a medium-term goal to earn a certification within a few years from a culinary institution. One of his long-term goals is to study with a master chef in Italy or France. You guys understand that illustration? He started out small. This young man is working he wants to own his own restaurant, but he realized that, okay, I need some form of experience, so why not see if I could get in to see how it's run and operated on a day-to-day basis. Bing, I could be a waiter. I could be a little, what do you call those people who clean the dishes? Them. I could work in the back. I could be the janitor, the bussy. I just need to get in to see how it's run on a day-to-day basis. Then now, in order for me to become the chef, I need some form of certification, which is either a certificate or your diploma. So you need some form of training. All right, that's his midterm goal. So in the next 4 years, he said, okay, I am going to dedicate myself to work and go to school. Long-term goal. When I become the chef now, I want to go to Italy to work in one of the restaurants of one of the biggest, baddest chefs there is out there. It is, listen, some people will tell you, or when you talk to some people, they're going to make your dream and your goals sound unreachable. Listen to Miss B. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Anything you put on paper is achievable because it becomes a reality. If you leave that in your head, you are bound to keep it in your head. The graveyard is one of the most richest places on God's green earth. Why, Miss Bettle? Because you have people who would have died with dreams and visions that were not brought to fruition. They ain't write jack squat on paper for somebody to pick it up and say, you know what, I want to carry out the legacy. But after you've written it down on paper, you got to set your goals and you got to take it in stages. So I want, and we wrapping up because this is the last 6 minutes. I want you guys to understand that your dreams and your goals are achievable, but only if you're serious. Only if you're serious. If you say, this is what I want to do, this is where I see myself going, then you gotta, listen, you first have to believe it. And then you gotta get a person like me to believe it to help actually push you in that direction. Because if I'm not hearing anything from you, if I'm not seeing anything from you, then how am I supposed to help you? All right? Do I have any questions?
Yes, question. Never mind.
Okay, so I want to say 2 more things about this as we wrap up. All right? Your goal should be realistic and very specific. Some people may say, oh, wanting to work at a restaurant of a master chef is a person not being realistic. It's achievable because we got a Bobby Flay restaurant, what it is, Mosaic over Atlantis, which means that homeboys come here. On the cruises, you got Guy Ferretti or whatever his name is for Diners, Drive-Ins. Yeah, him. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dive on the cruise, which means that if you take a cruise with your parents, there's a chance that you may see him. And the fact that it's his restaurant that's on the cruise ship, you could ask questions like, how Where is B? What are restaurants he own? How much chains he have? Such and such and such. And you build your case and you do what you have to do. So never let no one tell you that your dream is not achievable. But at the end of the day, make sure it's realistic. And if you say that this is what you want to do, you start to chart your course there. Be specific. Don't come sit before me and tell me, Miss B, you know, I want to be a chef. What kind of chef? Well, I think I like pastries, and I think I want to do be a sous chef, and yeah, I'm gonna tell you, pull it in, be specific. What kind of chef do you see yourself being? What do you want to specialize in? That's like you saying, I mean, we have general practitioners, but I need you to be specific. Being a general practitioner as a doctor is a specific area of study. You need to be specific. All right? When you're writing down these goals, if you see yourself writing and you get your paper getting too full with words, I can tell you, go back over it and cut some things out. Keep cutting until you get that down to a sentence or two. A lot of you guys, I realize, love to elaborate, and that's all fine and well. That's all fine and well. My job is to help you narrow it down. You all here? Let's bring it in. All right? So you got to be specific, and you have to be real when you're doing this. Are there any questions for me? Good. No questions.
I wanted to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, since you said how the person who's a chef now, well-known chef, how he started off small. So I wanted to know for somebody who, like, I want to become a clinical psychologist, but like I want to own my own business, and like I want to open up my different centers in different places. But like, how would I be able to start off small? Because I can't just say, okay, I'm gonna be the boss and I'm gonna make all these places.
Okay, starting out small is you doing job training with the psychiatrist or with the psychologist. You have to do job training there. When you go off to school, you get your education. In the summer, if you could get a job in the office working with someone like that, that's starting off small. Your summer of grade, before you go into grade 12, if you could get a job working in there, that's starting out small. You're getting your feet wet. You're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. You say that this is what you want to do, then you need to surround yourself with these kinds of people. People who do this on a daily basis. People who does this for a living or do this for a living. Sorry, not does. Do this for a living. All right? Then you get in grade 12. If you haven't done your job training already, then your job training should be there. Now you get out of school. If you could continue working there and go to school, depending on what your parent wants you to do, or if you just can't work and you go to school, you get your education, and when you get out, you work along with someone. See, something like that, you don't just jump into being your own boss. There's some things that need to be planted in you first in order for you to own your own company. There's some things that you need to pick up, some tricks, some do's, some don'ts, such and such and such. So once you get your degree, you work along with someone. And then if a door opens up for you to have your own company, then you walk through the door. But it's always good to gather experience, because when you go to business partners and so forth and so on, then from there, they'll say, okay, well, she does have experience working with such and such and such, who could then in turn write her a good reference letter. And then you build your brand from there. Building a brand is not easy. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, but you got to follow certain steps first. So your end game is to eventually open up your own clinic around the country, maybe in another country, and that's achievable. But you first got to line yourself